Hello, myself Anandi, and in this session we will be discussing about the fundamentals of OneAPI. Moreover, we will be discussing about the need of OneAPI, the programming challenges in multiple architecture, and who can utilize this OneAPI. As we all know that we have enormous programming languages, and so we have so many architecture available in the market. Is this OneAPI is going to be one such programming language or architecture? Obviously, no. While exploring the tool support across the platform, the developers found it as complex and inconsistent while using this tool support. Hence, we were in need of unique software investment and diverse set of data-centric hardware. If you code in one architecture or one programming language, you cannot go with other programming language or architecture, which means there is no certain common programming language or architecture available in the market. Here comes the OneAPI into the picture. The OneAPI plays a vital role by creating a common point that is the life of the developer. To implement such common point, do we need to compromise the quality? Obviously, no. We no need to compromise the quality. Moreover, we can improvise the performance with the help of this OneAPI. OneAPI is an unified programming model. It is a simplified language. It has a set of libraries to express the parallelism. As we discussed earlier, it is an uncompromised high-level language. If you notice the picture shown at the right side, the lowest level, that is the level 1, consists of processing units such as CPU, GPU, FPGA and other accelerators for different architecture. Just above the processing unit, the level 2 will comes. Here comes the OneAPI. This OneAPI is industry and Intel contribution. Just next to above to the level 2, that is OneAPI, we have middleware or framework. Here we have many frameworks like deep learning, machine learning and so on. In the top layer, that is the layer above the middleware, is application workloads that requires diverse hardware. To the whole, it is an open specification and is based on industry standard to support cross-architecture programming model. Once you start to explore this OneAPI, you will be wondering that how easy it is to use. In OneAPI, we have an existing high-performance computational programming model. When this OneAPI is integrated with the core processor, that will attract the middleware or the framework which provides an implementation across the architecture. Such integration will eliminate the need for the developers to maintain the codes separately, the tools, the workflows for each architecture. In OneAPI, the specific API application extends the existing programming model to enable the multiple hardware architecture through a data parallel algorithm. If you notice the OneAPI industry specification, it consists of two major categories. One is direct programming and another one is API based programming. So in direct programming, we have DPC++, that is data parallel C++. This data parallel C++ is an implementation of SQL with extension that is proposed for inclusion in future version of SQL standards. An example of this is the contribution of the unified shared memory. There are set of APIs for several domains which includes several libraries for linear algebra, machine learning, deep learning, video processing and so on in the API based programming languages. So next, while we are discussed, as we discussed earlier, this data parallel C++ is completely based on ISO C++, chronological and community extension. As we know, parallelism is a pipelining and multitasking that allows the coders to reuse the code across the hardware targets. ISO C++ provides an obstacles delivers C++ productivity to benefits the common and familiar language like C and C++. Let's discuss about API libraries. This OneAPI library has a deeper knowledge about the signal processing, machine learning, deep learning, linear algebra, etc. There are certain algorithms and functions to speed up this with the kernel program that is called OneDPL, and it has a math routines including matrix algebra, fast Fourier transform and vector matrix, and that is called as OneMKL. The machine learning and data analytics function has the entire package of analytic libraries that is called as OneDAL, a package with a neural network function for deep learning, and that is called as one deep neural network, that is OneDNN. The communication pattern for distribution through the deep learning will comes under this OneCCL. Threading and memory management template libraries comes under OneTDP. OneAPI threading building blocks, which is called as OneAPI threading building block. One DPL includes OneAPI video processing libraries, which helps in real-time video encoding, decoding, and so on. In addition to this direct programming and API based programming, we have analysis and debugging tools, that is VTune Profiler, the Intel Advisor, the GDB, and so on. To the whole, under this direct programming, we have OneAPI DP++ compiler and the compatibility tool and the distribution for this Python, and also we have add-ons for OneAPI based toolkits. While coming to this API based programming, we have so many libraries, deep neural network libraries and video processing libraries, threading building block libraries, data analytics, the math kernel functions, DPC++ libraries, and so on. Next, we discuss about the uses and the top features of this OneAPI. Who can use this? Okay, coming to this, a broad range of developers across the industry can make utilize of this, as it is the base for all the toolkits. Coming to the top benefits or the features of OneAPI based toolkits, it is a data parallel C++ compiler which consists of libraries and analytical tools. DP++ compatibility tools helps to migrate the existing code which is written in CUDA. If you notice the right side picture, under this direct programming, we have distribution for Python. The Python distribution that includes accelerated scikit-learn, NumPy and SciPy libraries. Optimized performance libraries for threading, math, and data analytics, deep learning, video processing, signal processing, and image processing can also be implemented with the help of this toolkit. To the whole, we discuss about the fundamentals of OneAPI and what is OneAPI, the benefit of OneAPI, and what is the need of this OneAPI and the features of OneAPI. So, thank you. These are the significant part of this OneAPI. Thank you once again.